Okay. So thank you so much, Kimberly, for joining me today. I'm so excited to chat with you about habits and challenges just in the life of health and wellness. I know this is something that you're super passionate about and something that you know so much about. I would love for you to just start with telling us a bit about you and how you help women and what you do.
Sure. So, hi everybody. My name is Kimberly Garcia. I live in New Jersey with my daughter, who's 7, Isabella, my husband, and our 2 dogs, our Cocker Spaniels. And I found New Jersey after moving a lot as I was growing up, moved from New York to Florida, all over the place, and ended up here in New Jersey with my family, actually in Staten Island to be exact. Met my now husband. We worked together in retail and found a house, and we've been here ever since. My background is in healthcare. So I love helping people get to the root of their diseases, their ailments, and really take healthy back, take control of their health. So that's where I've come from. And now, if we talk about what hats do you wear, I'm mom, wife, daughter, right? We all wear different hats in life. And dog mom.
Yes.
So I do a little bit of everything, just like most women do, and have a lot of experience with picky eaters, sick visits, everything from meal prep to what to eat, what not to eat, what to read, what podcast to listen to. And I just love helping so much that now I get the awesome responsibility of sharing all of that information. So that's really it. I'm in preventative health, and I like women to know that they have a say, that it's not, they don't have to take a diagnosis or a label, and they can take control of their health and their family's health for futures to come.
That's amazing. That's so empowering. And how is it that you got to be so involved and interested in health and preventative health?
I actually, so my mom is a registered nurse, and so I grew up not really knowing this as I grew up, but you know how sometimes you get older and then you reflect back on your upbringing and you realize how much of an impact certain things had, and I didn't realize how her caretaking was such an impact on me to want to help people. And I found myself making a really big career shift where I was going in one direction and my gut said go in another. And I followed my gut and I followed my intuition, and it led me down pursuing healthcare. And that opened the door for an incredible opportunity that I never thought I would get, but I'm so thankful that it happened in healthcare, to work as a wellness and weight loss coach and learn from some great functional medicine doctors, and really open my eyes to the potential for our bodies and our minds to really grow and heal. And once you go there and once you see it, it's really difficult to not evolve with it and not pursue it more, because you know what it can do for others. And that's when it spiraled. I went straight for it. So that's really where that love came from, where that opportunity came from. And now I get to pay it forward, which I'm super passionate and excited about.
Yeah, definitely the passion. I mean, I feel the same passion when I work with people. So what are some of the things that you really help your clients, your people, your women with when it comes to working on their health and their wellness?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you were to take a survey, right, of different women and moms and people in your life that you know, right, there's commonalities. There's going to be some common denominators. Given the hats that we typically wear, right, we are the mom, the caretaker, the teacher, we're the cook, the cleaner. So given everything that we have responsibility of in life comes, sorry, I lost my train of thought. Give me a second.
It's okay. Take your time.
comes this understanding of where there might be some challenges, right? Because we know what our responsibilities are, right? And so given these responsibilities, the challenge of, well, I just don't have enough time, right? I don't have enough time. I've got kids, I've got activities, I've got a full-time job. You know, I've got a husband who's like my big kid, and and that because I don't have enough time, or because the story I'm telling myself is I don't have enough time, right?
Yes, 1,000%.
That's key right there. That's the story I'm telling myself, then I'm exhausted from that because I've told myself I don't have enough time. So then therefore I'm worn out. So now I don't have enough time. Now I'm exhausted. Now I've tried diets. I've tried this, I've tried that. It failed. So now we don't have a lack of motivation to want to try again because we have bad experiences. Yeah. So there's so many different things that could potentially be, and I don't want to use this word very lightly, but excuses, reasons, things that are holding us back from becoming the best version of ourselves. And what we really need to do is break down those walls, break down those barriers of what really is that, what is underlying that, so that we can face it and come up with a new story for how we can overcome it and get to the real goal of where we want to be. Because if we never really face that and we never change that story, we're never going to get past it to get to where we really want to be.
Absolutely. And I totally agree with you. And like, it hits home, that whole, like the whole story idea, the narrative idea. It's what we like basically have written in our heads. Like you just said, it's a story. It's and it's so habitual. And I think that it's so difficult for people to understand the importance of rewriting those stories and like reevaluating those habits and building like the new lifestyle changes. And I don't know if you've seen with people that you work with, but I mean, I don't know, like, what do you feel like is the importance of like really breaking them down and like rebuilding those, the new habits? How do you see that change people?
You really only are going to get somebody willing to do the work, to face it, to talk about it, to break it down, to come up with alternative options when that individual is in a place where they're ready and willing to do that. Yeah. And it all starts with the mindset, right? It's all the mindset. And I have to apologize if you hear my dogs growling in the background.
It's okay. We're all used to the Zoom meetings now. We've got kids, we've got dogs, we've got cats, we've got everything.
It's life. Talk about the hats, right? That's life.
Yeah, absolutely.
One chewing on my leg right now. So it really starts with a mindset, and the mindset is: are you happy where you are? Are you comfortable where you are?
Totally.
If nothing changes 5-10 years down the road, are you happy with that? And I heard something really powerful on a podcast the other day that I think every single person should do this. And it's, I want you to envision yourself when you're older, you're 70, you're 80, and you look back on your life and somebody asks you, about what regrets you have. What do you wish that you would have done differently? What goals, aspirations did you have that you never saw come to fruition, that you never were able to enjoy and live out because of, most of the time, a fear of something, a fear of failure, a fear of rejection? What is it that you weren't able to become? What couldn't you help others with because you didn't do the work of facing a fear in the face and saying, you're not going to hold me back from becoming the best version of myself? And like for me, public speaking, when I was growing up, I would shake and sweat and run away. Mm-hmm. Even something like this, talking, interviewing, answering questions, it's outside of a comfort zone. Yeah. But we don't go outside of that comfort zone. We never impact another life so that they can step outside of that comfort zone, so that we can then keep pulling more people into that tribe of face the fear. So it's really, honestly, it all starts with, you got to get in your head. And at the same time, you got to get out of your head, right?
Totally. So
to be able to move forward.
I think that's so powerful. I think that's so powerful, that idea of like, what am I going to regret? What do I not want to regret? And like shifting that. And would you say that there's like other types of mindset shifts? Like, it really sounds like it's got to go from like into the present mindset, into like very much a growth mindset. Like, is that what you feel like is like one of the biggest shifts that need to happen? Are there other sort of mindset shifts that you feel like you need to see in people before they're ready to make that growth and like get out of that comfort zone?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the mindset shift is I'm not going to stand for it anymore. There has to be a part of you that gets so upset and so frustrated, and so annoyed.
Yeah.
With what you've allowed to take control in your life. And most of the time, it's not an individual. It's a thought. It's that story. I've let the fear be what makes decisions for me.
Yeah.
Right. And or I've let the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the whatever that is, be the one to determine my outcome. And you almost get like this righteously indignant, like, I'm damned if I will.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that mindset shift.
Yes.
That hell no, not happening anymore. I deserve more.
Yes.
I will be more. Others deserve me to be great so that they can be great. And that's it. And there's no other alternative. That's another part of that mindset shift.
That's
if you
beautiful.
allow this back and forth, we are human and we tend to go back to that comfort.
Yes.
I mean, that
100%.
comfort, right? But if in your mind there's no other option, this is it, then you are so committed to that evolution and that change, that's the mindset that takes over. It's almost like once somebody is in that mindset and in that state, and you ask them about how they were before, they tend to have a hard time recalling it, because they're so living in this mindset now that they forget what it was like to be in that little mindset.
That's beautiful. That's so beautiful and so transformative. And it kind of reminded me of something that it was when I was in treatment for my eating issues, but something that they used to say to us was, you've got to get sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, you've got to like hit that almost like rock bottom in your mindset of like, I am so sick of this, that there has to be an alternative. And you can say that about burnout. You can say that about your career, about your eating, like anything. You can say, I'm so sick of this that I've got to change it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And like, that's where it comes from. And I just wonder, like, what do you see is like the biggest challenge in some of the people that you work with when it comes to changing this mindset?
A lot of the times it's facing your demons.
Like the traumas?
That's it. It's the reality, the trauma. If you have a fear of rejection, it's deep.
Yeah.
There's a wound there.
Yes.
A fear of failure. Maybe you were growing up and you weren't encouraged to fail. So it's so different now. I wasn't growing up. I wasn't encouraged or out, fail, or even just the language around failure.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was almost kind of like not really spoken about. And with my daughter now, just a little anecdote about, failure and the importance of it. We journal every night, and we have a gratitude session. And one of the things she puts in the gratitude journal is, what failure are you grateful for today?
Wow.
I want to know about what you tried that's new. Because if you're not failing, you're not trying something new.
Wow.
So So just this almost stigma around failure and these fears of rejections, if you're not facing them head on, and a lot of the times it's hard for us to do the work ourselves. We almost need someone else, a mentor, somebody external to really be like, look,
Yeah.
it's this, and this. And it's not serving you here, and here. Yeah. And I hate to be the one to be the bearer of bad news. And I wish I could sugarcoat it for you, but that's not serving you. And if you want to grow up, evolve, and get better, we've got to find alternatives for these.
Yes. Yes.
And that's where it's facing that demon head on. It's coming up with, it's understanding that it served you at one point. It got you to where you are. Everything in life happened for a reason. You'll need those experiences to be where you are.
Yeah.
But are those stories and those experiences going to now help you get to the next level?
Yeah. And I think it's so hard for people to let go of. I think that like you said, they served us. It's a coping mechanism for a reason. Like you're turning to it for a reason. It worked for you for a moment. It was comfortable for a moment, but now where you are in your life now, like it's no longer serving you. It's no longer helping you cope. But I think as humans, sometimes we're like, but what else do I know? What else do I do? Like that was comfortable for me. And it's hard to rewrite that and be like, okay, well, if that's not working, what else does? And it can be so difficult to, like we were just saying, like make those new habits and let go of the old ones. It's so true. Like we really do turn back to those coping mechanisms. And it's interesting that you bring up like the failure thing. Like I was recently thinking about that because I think fear of failure and fear of rejection is like almost a universal fear. Like as humans, I think that's something we all really have that stands in the way of like trying new things. And it was interesting that I was working with another coach and she sort of said like the same sort of thing, like, what was your history with failure? What was your story kind of growing up? And I was like, well, I wasn't really allowed to. Like, you failed, you were like scolded. And it's interesting that now when I try something and I fail, it's like I can almost reparent myself as an adult and be like, you just tried something. You just tried something and it didn't go the way you wanted, but you learned something and you did something new. And like, that's actually really exciting. And that's how we grow. And like, I think that to be able to offer that to ourselves as adults is how we can step out of that comfort zone a little bit and try those new things. And again, it's so hard to rewrite those stories. And the fact that you're like creating that narrative with you and your daughter, like now while she's a child, is just so beautiful. But it is such an interesting thing to rewrite, especially around that fear of failure, that fear of rejection, because like I said, I think that's truly universal. I think that truly does hold a lot of people back. So when you are like, when your clients kind of like come to you with these issues, these roadblocks, these fears, what do you usually say is like the first thing to sort of just like tackle those and get over those humps?
There has to be a mutual understanding of each other in that moment. This is going to be, it's like a mutually enhancing relationship. And if I'm going to impact in any way that individual to shift the mindset, to make these changes, I have to go by the philosophy of I've never walked a mile in your shoes. Mm-hmm. And if I'm going to help you, I have to know how you feel and what you see you're doing right now. So a technique that I use is a day in the life of.
Okay.
I want to know what it's like for you. As much personal information as you're willing to openly share with me, tell me, what's it like when you first wake up? How do you feel? How do you wake up? What's the first thing you have to get done? What do you eat? What are your responsibilities throughout the day? So you get the gist. We go through the day, right?
Yeah.
Now I have an understanding of not only what activities you get done, but from just you explaining it to me, I'm going to extrapolate your priorities. I'm able to understand if everything was, I got to get the kids up and then I got to make the kids the food and then I got to see them off to the bus. And then I have to clean the kids' room and then make them their snacks so that when they get home, your priority is your children. Hey, I'm a mom. That's how it's supposed to be. Yeah. I get it.
Yeah.
But I have to understand where those priorities are, because then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show them, listen, you might not be aware of it because this is an autopilot for you. but I'm going to
Totally.
regurgitate what you said to me. And I want you to tell me, what are you seeing? And if they're not able to, is it okay if I tell you what I'm seeing? And in that moment, when you're able to say to them, these seem like your priorities, is there anything that you do throughout the day that you can automate, eliminate, or delegate?
Ah, interesting.
What can you do that, you meal prep, it looks like 2 or 3 days at a time. What would it look like for you if you would meal prep 4 or 5 days at a time? How much would that free up for you? Okay, that's an automation. What can you eliminate that's not serving you? You might have a hobby or a habit or something you like to do, but if you got rid of it, would it be the end of the world? And then what can you delegate? Do you have to fold your laundry? Can your kids fold your laundry?
Totally.
Right?
We pile so much on our plates.
Yes. And
Crazy.
and that's the beauty of that activity, is that we don't notice it sometimes, because what do? We get up and we go on the autopilot.
Yes.
And we're like, go, 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 go. And then you know what, a lot of us, especially women, especially moms, we love that feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah.
Like, checked it off the list, checked it off the list, got it done.
Yeah,
But
I think I'm the same way.
Right? We love it. I love accomplishment. But then sometimes I have to say, okay, but did I accomplish my priorities today?
Yes.
I might have accomplished, but was it a priority, or was it something that could have been delegated?
That's so interesting.
Yeah. And that activity will allow somebody to say, oh, okay, now look at all this extra time you have. What if you did that workout for 15 minutes that you thought you couldn't do, or whatever it is that is, an equal priority, that's something that they value and would, consider putting it into their daily routine. We're not going to fill that time that we found with something that's not going to serve. We want to say, okay, now you have these things that you wish to desire to do. Now, how can we weave that in?
That's so beautiful and honestly so important. And I think that it is really interesting that as women, we totally do that. I know for me, one of the things that helped me was picking my top 3 priorities for the day. I might have 17 things on my to-do list, but what are the top 3? What are the priorities? And it's interesting also that sense of accomplishment that you said. I will literally put things on my to-do list, make coffee. Something that I know I'm going to do anyway, just so I can be and I ticked it off. Obviously I was going to do that. It was no skin off my back, but it's just such a sense of accomplishment. And I feel this is something that you and I have brought up on our initial conversation, which is this instant gratification feeling, right? And this feeling of I just want to do the thing and my life changes, a magic pill situation that I feel really is another roadblock for a lot of people to make these super deep habitual changes, which in the long term, help them with their burnout. And it's just even interesting to me that you are a health and wellness coach, and we're talking about literal mindset shifts. It all just comes from the mind. Everything that trickles down to your body and your overall health, it comes from the mind. And I wonder what your thoughts are on that mentality of I just need a magic pill. I just need it to be done tomorrow. I just need just help me fix it.
I mean, we all say it and we all joke about it for the most part. I really truly believe that not many people truly think that it's out there. For those that do, I don't know, but I think it's more of a crutch than a true desire to find it.
Yes.
When you ask them, okay, I gave you the magic pill, now what?
Yes. Are you going to even implement it?
Yeah. What does it mean to you? Do you value it because it was that easy?
Yes. 100%.
It was so easy for you. Just like anything you get for free. I mean, you get something for free, you don't take care of it as well as you do something that you paid $1,000 for.
Yes.
You don't value it as much, and it's just the reality of it. So the quick fix, the magic pill, it's a concept. It's fun to think about. But nothing that's that easy is really worth it or is going to stick. And everything that's good takes hard work.
Yes.
Well, that's where that shift has to happen. So we've come to an agreement, let's say, that we know that there's no quick fix and there's no magic pill, but you know, what are you looking to get out of that? How can we still get what you're looking for from that magic pill and quick fix, but just approach it a different way?
Yes,
We can still
100%.
get those outcomes, those goals. We can still make progress. And you know what? At the end of the day, that's going to be the benefit of us identifying and implementing versus taking that magic pill or the quick fix. The gratification that you've done the work.
Yes.
That you feel good about making the change. That you did something messy, not perfect, not what you thought it was going to be, but you still did something for your goal, and that's going to be that reward.
Yeah.
That keeps somebody moving forward. I feel good that I did something. You don't get any of that with the quick fix or the magic pill.
Absolutely. It's like the value of the mindset shift too, right? Like the literal value of it. Like it wasn't a quick fix. It did take work. It did take time. It did take effort. And therefore the value is so much more. And it's so interesting. And it's so true what you said about like, if something's free, you don't take care of it. Like it's so very true. And so when you put in that work, when you're not looking for that quick fix, and we can like even say that like about dieting, like we all know, like the quick fix diet, that shit doesn't work. Like that's when you don't put the effort in, you don't really care about yourself or the outcome. And that's when you fall off track and you're like, oh, well, like that didn't work. Like, no shit. You didn't put any like real effort or time or care into it. And so that magic pill, you're so right. It's literally a concept and a mentality. And the end goal can be totally the same, but it's the way you approach it and the way you approach those steps to building that life and that mentality and that mindset and all of those things that are so important and so different when you take away that concept.
Yeah. So own your mind, own your life, right?
Yes. Yes. Amazing. It's so true. It's so correct. And I mean, I think that you've shed so much light on the idea of mindset shift and lifestyle shift. It's so important, so powerful. I think that it's been just like amazing hearing you talk about it. And I'm so grateful that you've like taken the time. And I just want to know, for anyone watching who wants to find you and utilize you and your amazing resources, do you have a social media or an email where these women can find you?
Absolutely. So I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I'm at Kimberly Garcia Health. And my email is takenhealthyback without the G, just takenhealthyback@gmail.com. And I'm open to any questions, ideas, concerns, any help that anybody needs. That's my mission. And I am lucky enough to live out that mission. So if anybody out there, needs any guidance, support, help, mindset shift, or anything,
yes,
reach out.
Women helping women. I love it. Thank you so much for your time. It's been more than incredible. And I will also put that information embedded in the video so anyone can find you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Meg.